Fluent and chill, yeah, we call it how it's played. From the field to the court, every legend gets played. Fourth quarter heat or a 2-minute drill. If you can't handle the truth, better chill with the skill. LeBron and MJ, we break that smoke.
Well, the closest thing to perfection, what does that make you?
Stats don't lie, we just let them spill. This is Real Talk Sports, welcome to Fluent and Chill. Fluent and chill, yeah, we call it how it's played. From the field to the court, every legend gets played.
I'm going to start the show. This is actually very heavy, just for the record. But I'm going to start the show with reading you a tweet. Are you ready?
Let's hear it.
And I quote the illustrious L, I don't know if that showed up the right way, so I'll do both. L host, who, by the way, since about 10:30 last night, has been very, very quiet. Ron, very, very, very quiet. L host.
Tone, there's a difference between very quiet and very, very quiet. Like three varies.
Let me rephrase. When I say very quiet, I mean a complete mute.
Like zero. Like you haven't heard anything is what you're saying.
Like mute. Like Helen Keller. I don't know if I know she's deaf and blind, but I don't know if she was a mute. But no, mute. So let me say the score at the time that I received this was 3-1 Seattle Mariners.
Mm-hmm.
Better, not even better. Better luck next year. In response to my Blue Jays post.
No way.
Better luck next year, said Ron.
Yeah. I responded in the only way that a guy who has a life-size Kobe Bryant mural behind him would. And I said, job's not finished. Job's not finished.
Job finished? Job's not finished.
No, it's not.
I then suggested he shh. You know why I told him to shush?
Because
George Springer hit a dinger, a 3-run shot to make it 4-3, and the Mariners, much like basketball in Seattle, are finished. Blue Jays in 7. Blue Jays in 7. I'm going to take this off. This is so heavy.
Especially considering that they was up in the series. I asked Ron when Seattle went up in the series, they went up in the series 2-0.
2-0.
I said to Ron.
Both in Toronto. Both games
By the way, we're going back to Seattle up 2-0.
Up 2-0.
And I asked Ron, I said, Ron, they got to win 4 of the next 5 games in order to win this series. And 3 of the 4 games that they got to win are in Seattle.
3 out of the remaining 5 games. Yes, 3. Well,
3 of the remaining 5 games are in Seattle. Are we coming back to Toronto? Ron said, no, we're not coming back to Toronto. Only, yes, we are coming back to Toronto. We are 100% coming back to Toronto for Game 6 and Game 7.
And let's be clear. Toronto could have won Game 5 in Seattle. But I think the manager did a boneheaded play with the pitching rotation, but that's fine. I then said to L host, the coward, better. Oh, no, I spelled it properly because I have proper grammar. Better luck next year. No reply, no comment. I tried to even come up on the panel today. I had to be like in the comments saying nothing. Crickets. Ron, I like Ron. You know how I feel about Ron, but I'm losing a little bit of respect for. He's ducking smoke. He's like that punk Kevin Durant who said he'd come on the panel and didn't. He's ducking the smoke. Just take your L. Just take your L. just take your L. Because when they were up 2-0, you didn't hear the end of it. 2-1, still talking. 2-2, still talking. 3-2,
yapping, Tone.
3-2, still 3-3, still talking. Game 7, right up until the 7th inning, ding! It all went quiet after that. What a lovely what. I don't think the World Series can. I don't think the World Series can live up to what that series was, though. Like, mad respect to the Seattle Mariners. They played phenomenal. The Blue Jays, of course, played phenomenal. Even if you don't like baseball, baseball's like my 4th sport. Even if you don't like baseball, that was so much fun to watch because there were so many storylines, so many like great performances. You know, Vladdy Guerrero, who gets killed all the time. I think for the series or for the play is batting like 450, 500. Like he's batting something ridiculous.
456 for the series. Yeah,
there you go.
6 for the series. Yeah,
insane. George Springer, like on one leg, right, just hits the home run and like all the pain went away. You saw him jump into first.
Unbelievable.
You know, Raleigh, who I think should be the MVP, who's the catcher of the Mariners, sitting there on the step in the top of the 9th, like just biting on his bat, like, come on, let me get one swing, because it's the 8th, 9th, and then the leadoff batter, he bats second. And I said, if Hoffman doesn't get these 3 guys out and they got a man on base, they're gonna lose. It's a 2-run home run. He had 60 home runs. I said, it's a 2-run home run, and you're never, like, it's over. Game's over. They didn't let him come up. Hoffman was like, just. I have a video. I'm not going to show you. I have a video. He's a dad of one of the guys that I coach. I'm not going to say his name. They know who they are if they're watching the show. I have a video of him. He's at the game last night, and like the home run hits, everybody in the arena, everyone right in the stadium's going crazy, and he's sitting there, like hands on his head, in tears. He's so happy. He's a huge baseball fan. Like I was on the edge of my seat yelling and screaming. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
He was like in tears, and I was just like, I go, let it out, big fella. Like he's you and I are like 6'3", 6'4". Like,
yes,
so he is taller, and I'm 260. He's and bigger. So
big dude,
bigger. Yeah. And he's just crying. And I'm like, let it out, big fella.
Well, you got to remember too, Tom, what's been going on in Toronto for years past. I mean, the last time you were in the World Series was 1983 when Gary Carter.
Joe Carter, 92-93. Yeah.
Joe Carter, I'm sorry. Joe Carter hit that home run to
seal
the series.
Joe, you'll never hit a bigger home run. You
will not. Will not. Up until then, you get knocked out in the ALCS, right? You're losing in the divisional series. All of that's going on. So, I mean, to get to this point, and on top of that, which I can understand his pain, being down 2-0 in Toronto for Seattle to come up there and win both of those games. In the process of winning both of those games, now we got to go to Seattle. We can't come back here down 3-1, because if we come back here down 3-1, if we come back here down 3-1, the series is not 3-1, because the next 3 games are there. We could ultimately lose the series, right? We could ultimately lose the series. Mm-hmm. But going up against this Dodgers team is going to be for the ages. Let me tell you, this is definitely going to be for the ages. So
they might have the Dodgers might have the greatest player in the history of baseball.
To be honest with you, Tone, it's looking like that. It is. It's definitely looking like that. Yes, it is.
Can you imagine a player going in? Ohtani pitched 6 innings, 5 hits, no runs, or 2 hits, no runs, something like that. 5 strikeouts. Not crazy with the strikeouts, but 6 scoreless innings. And then he went up to bat, walked once, hit 3 home runs. He's doing it on both sides. So it's crazy.
And don't leave out, Tone. I also had a 10 strikeout game, by the way.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, but the game that mattered to close it out. Yeah. I get it. It was a sweep. But listen, it's not gonna be easy. The Jays, and let me say this for everybody who's like seen me in the past and like, hold on a minute. You're a Jays fan now? No. Toronto is my home team.
Yeah.
the Dodgers are my team since I became a Laker fan. I kind of went Lakers, Dodgers. I kind of embraced LA. My son, Fluent Jr., is a Dodgers fan. His favorite player is Mookie Betts. But if the Raptors were playing the Lakers in the finals, in the NBA final, I would be, listen, I'm a Laker fan, but I'm also in Toronto. Like I will be somehow
hometown.
I can't lose is the way I see it. This is if the Dodgers sweep, if the Jays sweep, if it goes 7, I can't lose. I got my home team and my favorite team. So it'd be like, I know this is very unlikely to happen, but everybody knows I'm a sad, when I say sad, like I'm hurting sad Bears fan, and Mrs. Fluent is a Bengals fan, and we've both been lifelongers in both. If the Bengals play the Bears in the Super Bowl, there's no division in the house. I win because one of our teams will be Super Bowl champs, which is fantastic. So now I would love it to.
Which, by the way, I meant to ask you, how is the missus feeling about the addition of Flacco?
She knows that it's a stopgap in the season. Once Burrow went down, it was season over. She loves football so much it doesn't matter, which is fantastic. But yeah, that was
all right. I was just wondering.
I tease her. Remember that commercial? It's a fantasy football draft, and the guy picks TJ Hushamanzada, but he always says his name wrong. He's like Hushamazode championship. So when there's a signing like that, it's like Flacco championship.
Bruce, are you calling Tone a front runner? Is that what you're doing? Is that what you're trying to say, Bruce? That Tone is a front runner?
Bruce doesn't know me that well. Bruce, you should know, I always support. I'm true to my favorite team because they've been my favorite team since 1979, 1980. I always and that'll be the Lakers. But I feel like everyone should support their home team. I just feel like you live in a city, like you should like if you go to a Miami Heat game, now you don't even have a favorite NBA team. Like you should cheer for Miami. Like you go to a Dolphins game, as tough as it is right now. You go to a Dolphins game, you should cheer for the Dolphins. Like that's just something I feel. If I go to a neutral site, okay, different. But yeah, it's not. I should. When the Raptors were horrible, I was still going to games. I was reporting on them, as sad as it was. So even with the Jays,
when I was growing up, the New Jersey Nets had Buck Williams, and they were terrible. But I was watching them just because of Buck Williams. That's why I watched them.
There you go. Yeah, you find something.
And they had Michael Ray Richardson, but I was watching them probably because I dug Buck Williams. That's why I watched them. So I understand. I understand the home team logic.
And ever since Fluent Jr. started playing baseball, like 3-4 years ago, I've gone to a dozen or so baseball games every year now. And watched whatever. So no, I wouldn't say that. But I'm also not going to be like, I'm even telling you right now, I'm still, Dodgers are still my favorite team. But
here's my question, though, Tone.
Jump off and on the bandwagon.
I know that the Dodgers probably are the overwhelming favorites in this series.
Everybody is picking the Dodgers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're the overwhelming favorites in this. Just off the strength of not even Mookie Betts or Freeman. Just off the strength that they got Ohtani. What happens if Toronto beats them? Well,
listen, I know that all the experts are probably picking the Dodgers, but I think if you take away they're a Canadian team. No, they play in Canada. They're not like there's no Canadians even on the team. I don't think. Maybe there might be. There's more Canadians on the Seattle Mariners. Right, Naylor, their first baseman, was phenomenal. Yeah. Him and then Brash, they're one of their relievers. One's from Kingston, Ontario. The other is from I'm not sure where Ontario, but they're both close to me, I guess technically. Yeah. Naylor, that first baseman's phenomenal. Mrs. Fluent kept like traitor. She was like traitor because he was playing great. It's so weird that we're going to lose to some Canadians. There's no Canadians on the team. But that being said, it will come. If you look at the Jays, this is why they've been so great. You know this because you played sports. That is a tight group that, they get along. They will sacrifice everything for each other. And that's rare that you find a team that's that well kind of they are in sync with each other. They love each other. They that's tough. And they've got hitting top and bottom. The Dodgers haven't played a team that has that much. What I struggle with.
Josh Nail is from Mrs. I don't know how to say that. Mississauga? Is that it?
Mississauga.
That's Josh Nail is from Mississauga.
Mississauga, yeah. So then Brash is from not Jamaica. Brash. Yeah, Brash.
Kingston. I know that Josh Naylor is Canadian.
Yeah.
So that word, as you were saying, Tone, because I just wanted to make sure that
they've got hitting top to bottom. The Jays finished with a better record. That's why they have home field. And they have home field. So like for them to win, I don't think it's crazy. Just, for them to, you got home field advantage. You had the, more wins over the season. You have a good lineup. They're getting good pitching. I think the Dodgers will win. I wouldn't be surprised if the Jays won. I would be.
Considering what the Dodgers have, not just what they have, how good Ohtani has been. I mean, he's their all-purpose guy. And I mean, I really shouldn't.
Listen,
again,
Toronto, he can pitch 2 games.
Max. If I'm not mistaken, so Toronto was tied with the Yankees for the second best record in the league. Well, let's see. In the National League,
I think only the Brewers had a better record than the Jays.
The Brewers had Phillies had a
National League, yeah.
But in the American League, they had the best record. They was tied with the Yankees with the best record in the league, and then in the National League, and that's pretty simple. In the National League, the Phillies and the Brewers had a better record than them. So Toronto was a lot better than I gave them credit for.
Yeah, I don't think people. Yeah, you don't really hear about them too much because they haven't really done much of anything in a while. So good for them. It's honestly, it was so great for the city. And here's the difference. I hate to be that guy. They partied in the streets of Toronto last night. 0 incidents, 0 violence, 0 cars getting flipped over.
Because we don't got to flip cars over, Tone, and bust windows to have a good time. We do know how to have a good time.
People do.
We do know how to have a good time without losing our minds. Like we don't got to flip cars over and start riots. No, we don't got to do that. We know how to have a good time. We can go out and have a drink and enjoy the time. That the fact that the Toronto Raptors won the NBA championship for the first time in the history of this city, right? Or that the Toronto Blue Jays are going back to the World Series for the first time since 1993. We don't got to flip cars over.
I will say this. If the Toronto Maple Leafs make the Stanley Cup, there will be hell.
We might see some cars.
They haven't won since 1967. It might be crazy. All right. So before obviously we're here to talk about basketball. Had a little fun at L host Ron's PC Ron. Don't give him a follow, but tell him he needs to be as vocal when he loses.
Man up, Ron.
Man up, Ron. But we're here to talk basketball. But before we talk basketball, we're going to talk about basketball. We are going to talk about the Houston Rocket game that we're both watching on the side here, and the other game, obviously, Lakers and Warriors later. Suns, that's French. LeBron's. I don't mean to bring this up because it's family. I have an obsession with AI, and you have a deep-rooted fear of AI. Your cousin is on a site called Sora, as am I, and I'm having so much fun with it, by the way. That being said, I've noticed a very unhealthy obsession he has with Marilyn Monroe. Do you know about this?
Yes.
And do you know where it stems from?
Well, first of all, you know that he owns Marilyn Monroe Enterprises. You didn't know that, Tone? Yes.
Mm-hmm. I have no idea. I have no idea.
Like Michael Jackson owns the Beatles and he owns their masters.
Yeah.
Yes. Shaq owns Marilyn Monroe Enterprises. Yes.
Like all her movies and I don't know that she had maybe music.
All of it. Yes. All of it. Yes.
Are you serious? I have no idea.
Yes, sir.
So is it because it's worth a lot or is it because he's just a huge fan?
Well, both.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly huge fan, as a lot of people are. There's nothing weird about that. Okay, so because I know you don't have this, but I'll send you some because by the way, they're hilarious if you haven't seen them. I don't know where he posts them. He does all these AIs and he's allowed them to use his likeness. And then because she's passed, because you can't use living people, they allow you. I can go and do like a dance with Marilyn. And so he has all these videos where they're like, he's proposing to her, they're driving in a car together, they're hugging, they're dancing, like they're all kinds of stuff.
I'd like to see this. I would like to see it.
If I show you his feed on Sora, you know what? Let me see if I can actually pull it up because I might be able to.
Well, first of all, I don't know if people noticed, but Marilyn Monroe, as much of a babe as she was in Amazon. Marilyn Monroe was a big ass chick. She was like 6'1", 6'2".
No, she was not.
You didn't know that, Tone? I thought you knew that.
Let me tell you something. I know nothing about Marilyn Monroe.
Yes, Marilyn Monroe was in Amazon, Tone. Yes.
She was blonde. I said bald. She was blonde. And she did that, the scene with the subway thing.
The blonde bombshell. Yeah, she was a huge chick, Tone. She was like 6'1", 6'2". She was something like that.
I had no idea.
A huge chick. No doubt. Yeah.
I might just have to do it this way just because I might not be able to do it any other way. So like literally it's him and Marilyn. It's him. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Him and Marilyn. I can't. I'm trying to see it because I can't. Hold on. Him and Marilyn. Him and Marilyn. Oh, here, maybe I'll just do it from back here. Him and Marilyn with their two babies. Like us.
Yeah.
Here he is proposing to her. He's the love of my life.
What is it? What is it? What is it? What is the name of that site again?
Sora is the app.
Yeah.
And you have, if you can't, because you have to have an invite. You have to have an invite. Let me know because I have 6 I can give. Here he is. They're sharing a Pepsi. Like he's got Elvis telling him stay away from her. Like I just see it's so much fun. Like he's a superhero, which the big Shactus. This one's actually one of my. I don't know what this is so weird. He's dancing with a 2-headed girl. I have no idea why this girl has 2 heads.
What the hell is that?
Oh yeah, look,
nothing about that.
Yeah, so weird.
That's weird.
He's got Tupac at a Laker game. Like
hey Tone, I don't see. That's weird right there. I do not do that.
Yeah, he's honestly his content on here is fantastic. Let me give a plug for mine while I'm out here. So
at Sports Fluent TV, the game doesn't stop at the buzzer. We hunt clues, protect the city, and keep the kids learning. Let's close this cage back. No crossovers too quick for us. Lights out.
See, I got some bad information. Somebody told me, not somebody told me. I actually looked it up, and I just found it out. Like Marilyn Monroe is like 5'6",
5'6", yeah.
But the information that I got, she was like 6 foot 6'1". That's what I had gotten initially. You can't believe nothing on the internet.
I'm gonna start posting
nothing.
I have 4 episodes of my cartoon, the NBA Detectives. I'll send you a copy. But yes, let me know. I'll send you an invite, and you can jump on there. I had no idea how tall she was. Like I said, I know nothing.
The information that I originally got was Marilyn Monroe was like she was an Amazon chick. She was like 6 foot 6'1". Yes.
Well, maybe you know what though, 5'6" back in those days was probably like a 6'1" girl now.
No, it's not the same thing. Not the same thing at all.
All right. So that explains so much about the stuff with Marilyn. I had no idea. When I saw it, I was like, dude, like he's got like 20 videos with Marilyn Monroe. Like
that would explain it. Yeah,
he good.
Yeah. He owns the rights to Marilyn Monroe.
No, he knows she's gone, right? All right, that makes a lot of sense.
To Marilyn Monroe.
All right, that's see, this is why I asked you the question. All right, so let's get to some basketball. Opening night tonight. It's about damn time. Although I say that the season's starting a little earlier than usual.
Oh, about a week. Today is the 21st. So normally the season would start before we had this collective bargaining agreement and before the season started like this. I mean, the season would start like right around Halloween or like right around that October.
I remember Halloween.
So we're a week. So today is today's the 21st. So before this whole thing happened, and this thing got settled, the season will start next week. Like we get opening night probably like next Tuesday, next Wednesday, like the 29th. That's normally when the season started. But you know, it starts a week before. And don't get me wrong, I think it ends like a week before it used to in the past. Because like the playoffs start, if I'm not mistaken, Tony, the playoffs start because now we got the play-in tournament. So the playoffs start around the 18th of April, between like the 17th and the 19th of April. Around that time, I think the playoffs used to start in at the end of April, like around the 21st, 22nd was when the playoffs used to start. But now we're in a space where you know, everything is pushed up like a week or so. So I'm loving it. I love the fact that we get basketball a week earlier. I love it because we've been waiting this whole time for it. So I think it's dope.
I got to tell you, I wish it was a month earlier, but I love getting it a week earlier, 100%. But I got to tell you, there's this woman. Let me not be disrespectful. And you know, I will let me call her out because I don't know her that well. But I think she's an NBA personality. Her name is, well, her TikTok thing is Hoops for Hotties. But I don't really know who she is. Do you know this person, Mariah Rose?
No, I don't.
This person?
No, I don't know her.
Okay. So she's been on this thing on TikTok, this like constant daily thing about like how they need to play less games in the NBA, and you know, to give us a better product and to da. And I'm like, hold on a second. Like, do you hate basketball?
You must.
Why would you be like? I've never heard a basketball fan say I want less games. And then I also think about like, do you not know basic economics? Like the owners they want money. That's why they play games. It's not for anything else. It's to make money. Less games means less money. Less money means lower pay for the players. Like what? Like it makes no sense.
First of all, when did this whole
any level, it makes no sense.
Well, I was asking you, Tom, when did this whole playing less games, like shorten the NBA season, when did that come about? Because I remember, and I'm asking you, when do you remember this? Because I remember this coming about like recently from like not Gen X people, not us, but from like millennials. And these are the people who they want to get paid more but do less work. And the idea is to shorten the season to 65 games, shorten the season to 70 games. Not realizing that when you shorten the season, number one, it's not just about the players. Just so you know, vendors don't get paid. Not only do vendors not get paid, the people who work there don't get paid. It's not just the basketball players.
Concessions, ushers,
all of this, parking, they don't get paid.
Yeah.
No, these people are losing money. And when you're shortening the season, what are you shortening the season for? Why are we shortening the season? Because it wasn't an issue in 1988. It wasn't an issue in 1998. It wasn't an issue in 2008. It wasn't an issue in 2018. Why are we shortening the season? Because it's a lot of wear and tear on these guys. Well, number one, technology in terms of medicine is at its all-time best. You got a guy like LeBron James who's still playing in the NBA today after being in the league for over 20 plus years. So there's technology where you can take care of your body. Number two, travel is at an all-time great. These guys fly first class everywhere. Not only do they fly first class everywhere, they stay first class everywhere. So that's not an issue. On top of all of that, they get paid they get paid top dollar. So do you think that if you worked a 5-day week, and instead of working a 5-day week, you get to work a 3-day week, you think you're going to get paid the same? Because that's not going to work. I can tell you that right now. That's not going to work. No.
Yeah, and so it really, I guess it surprised me because I was like, why would anyone who talks basketball, who loves basketball,
why do you want less games?
Why would you want less games?
I'm going to ask that question. I am going to ask that question.
Yeah.
Why would you want, if you're a real basketball fan, because I can tell you right now, football people do not want less football. No, they don't.
No.
Baseball people do not want less baseball. Why are you, asking for less games? What's the problem? What are you doing if you talk basketball and you're a basketball fan? In addition to talking basketball, why do you want less games? Why does that benefit you? Because I can tell you right now, I don't want less games. I'd like more games.
The only argument, I don't agree with it, but the only argument anyone has ever made is, well, if they play less games, they feel it'll be a better product because people are missing a lot of games. But if you went to a 60, forget all the economics for a second. If you went to a 62 game season, you think they're all playing 62 games?
No, they're not.
Well, still taking nights off.
Yes.
Still taking nights off. So now they're going to play 50 because 12 games isn't a lot to miss. Now they're going to play 50 games.
Yes.
Now you only get them for 50. Like it. And then to your point, like the money just doesn't make sense because owners need to make more money, not less money. So if you play less games, well, ticket prices then have to go up. It's already super expensive to go to a game. So now the ticket prices have to go up to compensate for the less games.
I was about to ask you that, Tone. Why do ticket prices have to go up now? Why?
Well, because let's say I need to make $10 billion on seat sales. I'm making up a number.
Sure.
And I take that and I divide it by 82. That's how much, right? Okay, well, now I have to divide it by 62. Well, just basic math. Price has to go up. The price of popcorn has to go up because now with only 31 home games instead of 41 home games, well, I'm going to make less money on popcorn sales. Now I got to raise the price of that because I need to make the same amount of money. Oh, guess what? And then here's the one that you'll never get back. Well, now the TV deal goes, which by the way, is where the number one source of income revenue for the NBA is the TV deal.
Advertisement is, yeah.
Well, now they're going to say, well, if you're playing 20 less games, I got to take that money I'm giving you, divide it by 82, and then multiply it by 62, and here's your new deal. So now I just made $1 billion less. It completely defunks and ruin. Oh, and guess what? Well, once all of those numbers come down, how do players get paid? Oh, that's right, 50% of the revenue. So if revenue comes down, the salary cap comes down, which means every player makes less money. Yeah, they're going to love that. They're going to love that.
Trying to hear that. No, they're not.
Love that. If I'm making 50 million, now I'm going to make, and everyone's going to say, oh my God, it's still a lot of money. I'm getting paid 50 million. I'm playing 65 games so that I can get all my awards, and I'm missing 17 games. You're now going to take that number to 40, and I have 62 games on my schedule. Well, guess what? I'm going to play 50 games.
Well, and not only that, I think one of to your point, Tony, that's a very interesting point that you make about the revenue from advertising, because again, that's where the dough comes from. A lot of the dough comes from, like, for example, on NBC right now. This game is on NBC right now. So this game being on NBC, one of the main reasons why it's on NBC is because of advertising. Because ESPN, they pay, but NBC pays too. That's why it's not on CBS, right? That's why it's not on some other network, because they ain't pay enough.
Right.
Okay, so my question is why do you want less games? Are you telling me that the product would be better? When was the product at its best, Tone? In your estimation, when you think about what the NBA product is, when do you think the product was at its best?
Well, now hold on a minute. When you say at its best,
yes. When was the product, the product that you see on the floor, when was it at its best in your estimation? Now, and the reason why I'm asking you this, Tone, is because everything that you just mentioned to me about having less games
from a marketing and growth perspective, it was best in the 90s. But from again, if you're talking about the game itself, I for me it was like the 2010s to 2020, like that was the best basketball for me. But from a marketing perspective and growth perspective, late 80s, 90s.
So let me ask you this,
That
Tone.
wasn't the best basketball today, but yeah.
So the idea is the product isn't that good. So the product isn't that good right now. So instead of making the product better, what you want to do is you want to take some of that product off the table. You know what that's going to do? That's going to make people less interested in it.
Less interested.
They're already
100%.
not interested in it at all. They're already less interested in it now. So now what you want to do is you want to take more of it off the table. It's going to go away. Nobody's going to care.
No.
That's going to ultimately happen. That's going to ultimately happen. Nobody is going to care. Why do you think if you make less games, now people are going to come flooding in? No, we're not.
Never going to happen. Yeah, 100%.
No, we're not going to. That's not going to happen.
Like how does that make people want to watch more? Like,
no, it doesn't.
It's how much, and honestly, if you think rest, right, and less games will make the players play better. How much you think it's exponentially? They'll be exponentially better playing 20 less games or having 20 less games on the schedule. So much so that now people will just start tuning in that didn't when you make it less available.
You had a real good theory about when Jordan left in 98. When he quit in 98, everybody said, well, those 3.5 years he was good because he hadn't played in those 3.5 years. Tone, what happened to Jordan when he didn't play those 3.5 years?
He got old. He got old and stiff. I tell this to everybody. You can do it on a small scale. And if you don't believe me, go talk to someone who does kinesiology, and they'll tell you, okay, yep. I did not study kinesiology, but I speak with people who did. And here's how you do it on a small scale. Go play, not crazy, like don't kill yourself, but go play basketball for 5 days.
In a week straight. That's what we're doing. For a week straight.
A week straight. Go play every single day. And like for you say, look, I don't want to play. No problem. Don't run up and down like a 5-on-5. Just go and just shoot for 5 days. Just shoot for 5 days. Tell me that your shot isn't better on day 5.
It is going to be better on day 5.
Take 2 weeks off and then go again and see what happens.
I'm going to be so whack. I'm going to be stiff.
You have to start over again.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to be stiff.
Now imagine now extrapolate that out to 3 years. Plus the thing that a 20-year-old doesn't understand. And I don't mean to sound too much like an unk here, but
you are, and it's okay.
I am. So it's okay, yeah. 20, you don't realize your body will go through a very weird change at 30, and you won't expect it. You'll then go through another change at 40, and it'll be like, what? You'll literally wake up one day and be like, what the hell? And then when you hit 50, it'll happen again. And I haven't gotten there yet, but when it hits 60, you're going to do it again. And your body just starts to, when someone's over 40, because when they get up from a chair, you hear, like there's a noise.
Grunt.
There's a grunt. There's a something. That's not them letting out a fart, bro. That it just ain't.
No.
So imagine now you're a pro athlete and you're sitting there doing nothing. Like your body flexibility. Tom Brady. Pliability. Do you know what pliability is?
Like plyometric chess.
Yeah, right. He's so flexible, and he says, I have to stay limber because when I get hit or sacked and my body folds up, I need to be able to bounce right back. You know what happens if he doesn't? It breaks like a twig. Yeah. Right? Take a wet. You know how the best way to do it? Take a dry twig and then take another one and dip it in water. Let it soak for a minute. That's take the dry one and snap it. See what happens. Take the wet one and do this. It bends.
It'll bend. Yes.
That's what happens when your body sits at rest. It becomes dry and brittle. Okay, I didn't want to spend too much time on that, but I feel like we did. But it's okay. Speaking of the game that's on right now, I believe it was a tight one. Let me.
Still is. They're in a commercial break, but it still is.
Oh, that's why. Okay, that makes more sense. This guy, do you know this guy?
That's Steven Jacks.
So he says that the Houston Rockets. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead. He says that the Golden State Warriors. My apologies. The Golden State Warriors have the best starting lineup. He says, I want to go on, I'll give you the quote. I want to go on record saying this to the world. The Warriors can win the championship. This lineup, I'm about to. Sorry, I got a phone call and I couldn't see it was my brother. I'll talk to you later, George.
Which drives me crazy, by the way. Just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, that makes me nuts. Because you know I'm working. You know for a fact that I'm working. And you call me. I get that all the time.
Right
so
now,
I'm right in the middle of working, and you know I'm working. But anyway, as you were saying.
I want to go on record saying this to the world. The Warriors can win the championship. This lineup I'm about to say is the best lineup in the league this year. Steph at the 1, Butler at the 2, Kuminga at the 3, Draymond at the 4, Horford at the 5. Average age of 47 years old. Is he crazy? Like, if they were in the prime, we might be having that discussion.
That's exactly where I was going, Tone. Like, so to his point, he is right. This is the best starting lineup in the NBA. Probably about 4 or 5 years ago, though. Yes, you are, Jax. You are 100% correct. This is the best starting lineup with Curry at the 1, buckets at the 2, Kuminga at the 3, Dre at the 4, and Kuminga at the 5. I think that they win the NBA championship. And if they don't, they got as good a shot as anybody. And I'm talking about the few teams. But today, Curry is going to be 38 when the playoffs start. Buckets, 36 years old. Draymond, 36 years old. Al Horford, he's turning 40 next year. This is who we have. Now, with this starting lineup, if I look at the rest of the NBA, this is the best starting lineup years ago. This isn't the best starting lineup today. You guys aren't better than the Houston Rockets. You guys aren't better than, as a starting lineup, you guys aren't better than the Denver Nuggets. You guys aren't better than the Dallas Mavericks. You're not better than Minnesota. You're not better than Oklahoma City. You're not better than the Lakers. That's just to name a few teams. You're not better than the Cavs. You're not better than the Knicks. In terms of starting lineups, you guys are ancient. And this would be a great starting lineup if this was years ago. Problem that we're having, Tone, is these guys that you talk about being a great starting lineup, we're going to need these guys throughout the course of the season because the Western Conference is a nightmare. And because the Western Conference is a nightmare, you can't have that many nights off, which means Curry's going to play 65, 70 games. Draymond is going to have to play 60-plus games. I can appreciate the depth that you guys have, but the same problem with sitting these guys out is the same problem that you're going to have last year. The reason why you traded for Curry was because the reason why you traded for buckets. The reason why you traded for buckets was because your offense was whack. It was whack as hell. So now what you want to do is these guys coming in this season, they're better. Okay, great, because you get Melton. I'm hoping that Kuminga, who, by the way, Tone, isn't all the way invested. He's in a contract year, and he can't get out of Golden State fast enough, by the way. He is so over what's going on there. With that being said, guys like Pods, guys like Melton, guys like Post, let's see, Post, Melton, Gary Payton, guys like that, Davis,
et cetera.
Jackson Davis. Okay, this is where we're getting offense from these guys this season coming up. I'm not saying that you can't get better, Tone, but I'm thinking about what the Western Conference is. And the reason why you traded for buckets was because you want your offense to be better to compete in the West. Well, if these guys aren't playing much, that means that those guys, those steps that they have to take have to be, to your point, exponentially better. Now, if they're not, we're looking at the Golden State Warriors being a play-in team, and their history has shown that they're not a good play-in team. I don't have the Golden State Warriors making the playoffs. This is a young man's league. And when you have 4 of your 5 starters that are 36 years old and older, that's a recipe for disaster. No, absolutely not.
Listen, I'm low on the Warriors as you are. I don't think they're missing the playoffs. However, when you tell me a lineup of 37-year-olds, 38, 39, 4, like if you have 1, 2. I'm like, okay, veteran presence with a couple of young guys. All right, we can make this work. You can't have 4. You can't have 4 old guys, and then it's not LA Fitness. You can't pull up with 4 old guys and then the one young guy who's running up the court and they're just throwing them long passes all day for easy layups. Like, that's not how actual basketball works.
No,
and especially when the one guy who does have the young legs is kind of like, I don't really want to be here. I don't know why am I here? This team, like, I still think
being around all these old dudes. By the way, Tone, being around all these old dudes
who think they're still in their prime, and they want to take all the shots and they want to score all the points, and they just want me to run around because I'm young. Go get them, young fella. No, it's not working. So no. I still think they're making the playoffs. but that is not the best starting lineup in the league.
No, it's not.
Speaking
not
of
at all.
starting lineups, there's a lineup that started today that I would want to know. I'm trying to delay the 19 seconds because once halftime comes in, we're going to get a bunch of people joining the show, and then they'll leave once the third quarter starts. Is this the future of the NBA lineup? 6'7" point guard, 6'11", 6'11", 6'11", 6'11", across the board.
Tone, did you and I have a
The
conversation?
average height in the NBA is 6'7". The average height of this starting lineup is 6'10" and a couple inches.
Tone, you and I had a conversation, I want to say about a year, maybe 2 years ago, and I told you that the future of the NBA is
a bunch of Wembies.
That's what the league is about to see. We already have that in the league now. That skill set, though, those guys are going to have to be able to do that. Well, we already got big guys running around the league. We already got a bunch of big dudes running around the league. This right here is evidence of it. KD, 6'11". Jabari, 6'11". Sengun, 6'11". Steven Adams, 6'11". You have to be able to do that, though. But this is right here the future of the league. No doubt about it. The future of the league.
I agree and disagree. I agree and disagree respectfully. Here's why I agree.
6'10", and not Wemby. I don't think it's a bunch of 7'5" dudes, but I think it's anywhere it's on between 6'10" and like 7'3", 7'4". It's going to be that.
And this is why I respectfully disagree.
Yeah.
Why I say I agree and disagree. Because if this Rockets team wins a championship, because it's a copycat league, you will see other teams try to find 6'9", 6'10", 6'11" starters right across the board.
Yep.
Finding 5 guys that height and that skilled that one team can afford and have a starting lineup with them is very, 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 very difficult. And the only reason the Rockets right now are able to do it is because Thompson's on his rookie deal, Sengun's on his rookie deal, Jabari's on his rookie deal, Adams is on a team-friendly deal, and they traded for KD. KD signed a 2-year extension. Once that happens, okay, he's going to be old. He's going to be 100 years old, so he's probably done. Okay, Sengun's going to get a raise. Jabari, if they win it, again, this is all predicate on if they win a championship or more, and right, because it's a copycat league, other people will do it. Sengun's going to get paid. Thompson's going to get paid. Sengun, Thompson, and Smith are going to get paid. So if all 3 get paid, because Adams and KD are BL, you can't have 3 max players.
Why not, Tone?
Well, because then your team, where are you getting the other 2 6'11" skilled guys who are also going to want max? You can't have 5 max players.
Well, we can't have 5 max players, but that's what the draft is for, right? That's what free agency is for. So we can get. So now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to be able to have 5 KDs. No, I'm not going to be able to have 5 Amen Thompsons. No. I'm not saying that at all. But I do think in terms of height, I think that we are going to have a space where I do have a KD. I do have a Sengun. I got something to that effect. I'm not going to have 5 of those guys, though. No. But I do think that the skill set, a lot of these guys are going to have to adopt that skill set in order to survive.
Now let's look at the flip side of that. So the Raptors once upon a time tried to have like a 6'7", 6'8", 6'8" lineup where everybody would just switch. You could switch on everything. And that died out quick because it didn't work. Correct. And that's easier to do, finding 6'7", 6'8" guys, and they could all switch on defense, right? They could all play all 5 positions on offense, positionless basketball. It didn't work. So it went away quick. They failed fast, and nobody copied it.
Correct.
So the flip side of this lineup is, if this lineup doesn't win, and not only if it doesn't win, if they are exposed by saying, well, they didn't have a point guard to kind of the traditional type of point guard. Not that you need a traditional point guard, but hear me out. they didn't have like a traditional point guard to guard the other team's point guard, to, you know, facilitate for other players. They were running, you know, the offense through Sengun, and they get beat by, you know, a team that has like a small quick guard who's just penetrating and dishing, and, you know, they're knocking down all these threes, and you know, I don't know, other than KD. So here, maybe help me out a little bit. I know Adams isn't a 3-point shooter. Is Jabari Smith a good 3-point shooter?
Jabari can knock down an open shot. Yes, he can. Mm-hmm.
But the question was, is he a good 3-point shooter?
He's not a sniper, no, but he's respectable. Yeah,
is Thompson
respectable? He's getting there. So to answer your question,
no. Is Sengun?
No.
Okay. So now you got a team that has really one, maybe two good 3-point shooters. And even those 6'11", right? The one thing about normally 6'11" guys is they're tall, they're long, right? They'll you know, sometimes good in the
take
paint,
up a lot of space, sure.
But take up a lot of space, but not as mobile as someone who's 6'7", 6'6", typically. Not as athletic, typically. There's some, okay, for the most part. So now, if they get beat by a more athletic team or outside shooting team, which is more of the norm now because that has worked and has won championships, this team's going to go away so fast. If they don't win, if they're the Phoenix Suns of the Steve Nash, Mike D'Antoni,
7 seconds or less,
that where, it was great in the regular season and they did nothing in the playoffs because they got exposed, like pick and rolls and blah, blah, whatever, it goes away. So this team, for this to become the norm, they have to win. And I don't know that when you have a team in this NBA that you have one, I'll call it 2 3-point shooters, nobody who could really, I don't want to say nobody who can penetrate, but because Thompson can. Sure. But you know, I feel like is the makeup of this team, right? If they in transition, is it like how is this team going to do in transition when you got?
They actually look really good. When you got big guys, we can double back and have this conversation in January when
we have. So my thing is, if it works, yes, 100%, people are going to copy it and you'll see it more. If it doesn't work, you won't see it. However, and you know this is when you try to copy it, right? You're not going to have a KD, right? A KD is not a common occurrence. So if you take KD and replace KD with another 6'11" guy, it doesn't work quite as well. So now you're going to have like these Temu versions, right? Where they got a bunch of 6'10", 6'11" dudes that can't shoot, that can't dribble. And it's like, this team sucks. Yeah, because you tried to copy. If you don't have Steph and Clay, the best 3-point shooting duo in the history of basketball,
correct,
and then Draymond playing his defense and knocking down shots too, by the way, and the mid-range assassin in Livingston, and you know, if you don't have those, you can't just throw 2 guys and say, okay, jack up 43s and see what happens. You're not going to win because they're not Clay.
And that's keep going.
No, I was that the last thing I was going to say was that's the only other thing about it.
I think that's a glass half. I think that's a glass half empty mentality. We live in a space today where the NBA isn't. Yes, but
of course I'm half glass empty. Yes, I'm a pessimist. Yes,
you 100%. Tone is a 100% pessimist. That's a good. And I'm just calling it out. That's a glass half empty mentality, Tone. We live in an NBA where your skill set has to improve. Gone are the days of the point guard who can't score if you're trying to win. Gone are the days of that guy just being a primary distributor. Gone are the days of the dirty work guy just being a dirty work guy. He has to be able to do other things. So if I'm 6'10", 6'11", and we're trotting out a lineup like this, Tone, we're not trotting out a lineup like this of a bunch of giraffes that all they do is run around and none of them can compete with the skill set.
No offense, you can't have 5 Steven Adams.
No, you can't. We're not going to win. Absolutely not. Because, again, I always use the reference to Dennis Rodman and John Stockton because you know how much I love those guys. John Stockton would have to, and I think that he would be awesome today because he would have to be able to score more. Dennis 100%. Rodman could not just be a defender and a rebounder in today's game. He would have to be able to knock down an open shot regularly. Like, he cannot just be a guy that all we're doing is just holding you on defense. No. So if I got a bunch of 6'10", I got a 6'7" guy as my lead guard, and I got a bunch of other 6'10", 6'11" guys. Well, I'm running pick and pop. I'm running pick and dive with these big guys. These big guys have to be able to handle the basketball. These big guys, not necessarily the three, Tone, because I know how important the three ball is, but the three ball, I think that's extra because we could get other things in addition to the three ball. So I'm thinking to myself, yo, you got to be able to stretch the defense on some level. And I mean that in the mid-range. I mean that in the mid-post. You got to be able to stretch the defense. You can't just be a one-dimensional guy. So a guy like Sengun, I already know that KD can do it. A guy like Sengun, a guy like Jabari, which can keep the defense honest. And on top of that, we're cleaning glass, right? We're only holding you to one shot. That's all you're getting. And if I can defend at that level, then I think that we're talking about something. But to your point, Tone, if we only look at it if this thing goes the other way, well, if we end up winning with this lineup, with us playing a specific way, because we can't play like the Warriors. Let's get to the bottom of that right now, Tone. We can't do that. We don't have what Steph Curry and Klay Thompson have. We don't have that. But we can have an iteration of respectable long ball shooters, box work, mid-range shots, cleaning glass, one rebound, one shot, one stop. We can have an iteration of that could translate to winning.
I am a glass half empty guy, so I'm gonna say, I said if it works and they win a championship, people will copy them. I just don't believe, like what you said was, we won't have a team that shoots a bunch of threes. Well, if you got a bunch of these big dudes, right, and respectfully, Steven Adams isn't guarding on the perimeter.
Right.
KD at 39, 37, whatever the hell he is, isn't guarding on the perimeter.
Now, when you say that, Tone, stay right there, Tone. When you say Steven Adams isn't guarding on the perimeter, KD isn't guarding on the perimeter, can you be more specific? Am I not guarding on the perimeter, period, or am I not guarding for stretches?
I'm gonna get there. So Sengun's not guarding on the perimeter. Sengun's not guarding on the perimeter. Thompson, I think, is guarding on the perimeter. Jabari Smith
is guarding
on the perimeter. Okay, so I've got two guys on the perimeter. Well, these teams are running 4 and 5 outs. So the spacing and the driving lanes, when you have 2-3 guys that do not have the lateral quickness to keep up with these guards who are just going to be shooting over them, I think it's going to be a nightmare defensively over the course of a season. Will they have games? Of course they will have games. And that's where I'm just like, so if they don't have shooting, they can't stay all, only 2 of the 5 can stay with them on the perimeter. Right. I think they're going to have that is going to be my biggest question mark. If they get it to work, I'm all in 100%. I see it being copied and done again. But to find guys that are 6'10", 6'11", that can shoot, that can pass, that can dribble, that can defend, it's hard. If you're saying I only want guys that are 6'9", 6'10", 6'11", it's at any height. I think if you said that for any, I want 5 guys that are 6'7" to do that. I think it's
now. Remember where we are too, and remember where we are too, Tone. Because again, this is the beginning of the season, so I think this is an experiment.
Yeah,
more than anything, I think this is an experiment, and I think that they're trotting these guys out. Let's see if this works. And you, as the pessimist, this is a glass half empty type of guy, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a glass half full type of guy. I'm thinking, well, if this works, like we can do so many things with this lineup if this works. So let's see what happens here. Let's see how we can expand.
It's interesting because for so many years they went small ball, small ball, small ball, and I was screaming, get one big. I didn't say get 5. I said get 1.
No, we're not doing that. We don't need
and now
5.
they went with 5, and I'm like, it's too much. I think we do. I think we always overdo things. It's like anything. A guy has a good game, he's the greatest ever. He has a bad game, he's the worst ever. No, there's a whole lot of in between.
Where do you think that comes from, Tone? Do you think that's because of where we live today and because we live in a social media era where everything is instant, everything is right now?
Think about it. If you go on X, I hate calling it. I'm never calling it that again. I'm done.
I don't call it that, Tone. It's Twitter.
If you go on Twitter, in fact, the most popular tweet I ever put was someone asked this question. I bounce around, squirrel. Someone asked a question and they were like, "Hey, do you call it X or Twitter?" And I said, "No, it's Twitter. I tweet. Just change the name back. Like, stop. I don't X. I don't go on X. I do it. Okay." I I don't even know where I was going now because you threw me off. If you go on what the hell were we talking about?
We're talking about, so you got 5 bigs. That's what we're talking about. Stay with me, Tone, right? Stay with me, Tone. You said that we had small ball going on. When we had small ball going on, we have one.
Okay, and you said where did it come from? It's from Twitter. Because if you go on Twitter and you go, wow, that was a really, a good game last night by whoever the player is. I'm really looking to see if they can, keep it up and do it over a stretch of a few games because, they looked really good tonight. Go read the comments. You crazy? That was a one lucky time thing. That person sucks. Or yeah, that's who they are. They're the best ever. And then the same player will go out the next night and go, 3 of 17. And like, that person sucks. Whoever, it's the same person, by the way. That person's garbage. Whoever said they were greatest ever. I'm like, you did yesterday. It's just
literally,
it's that quick. We want to boom, 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 boom. And it's just like, whoa. I know it's boring. It's boring to say, well, let's sit back and watch. But let's sit back and watch. Let's sit back and watch. Did you? Oh, we didn't. We missed the MJ thing.
I saw him talking, but I didn't get to hear what he said. But
comments. I see he said a whole lot of nothing. FYI, okay. Let's take a break and talk about that for a sec.
Yes,
Michael Jordan, Mike Tirico. They're gonna have insights, excellence to greatness, chats with Michael Jordan. I think people are going to be very, 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 very disappointed because he is not a controversial person.
Number one. That's numero uno.
That's just not who he is. He's not political.
That's number one.
He doesn't go hard on one side or the other. He did back in the early days. He did back in the early days, got a little slap on the wrist from his marketing and PR people, and he has never done that again publicly anyways. Right. So people who think, oh, he's going to come out there and blast all these new players and LeBron, and he's going to regain his title as the GOAT. No. All those people think, oh, he's, there was a fake story that your friend there in Miami posted from a fake news guy that said, oh, he's going to tell all the old heads that you're crazy and you're wrong and you're disrespecting my name by saying I'm better than who. No, he's literally going to be Melba toast right here in the middle. He's going to say nothing controversial. He's going to say nothing that, is going to make headlines the next day. Nothing.
Well, remember too, and to add to that point, like, I'm not even thinking about the controversial part. I think a lot of you guys are looking at Jordan, expecting Jordan to give you this profound basketball analysis. I don't know if you noticed, but Jay isn't around the game like that anymore. Jay is not analyzing the game and watching basketball like he did when he was playing, when he was an owner, scouting players. He's not doing that. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Jay definitely loves the game, but I think he still sees the game not only from when he played it, but from the newer guy, from the guys like McGrady, and then moving on to guys like James and Carmelo Anthony and Bryant, guys like that. I think he still sees the game like that. Like, moving on to guys like Steph Curry and James Harden, like, that brand of basketball isn't the kind of basketball that he applauds at all. So because of that, I don't think that he's interested in that, which means I don't think Jay is watching that. So he's not going to give you this profound analysis of how basketball is being played today. SGA is so good coming off screens and being able to decipher. You're not going to get that from him because he's not that in touch with basketball today like he was years ago.
And I don't think he's interested. Like, he's not like Kobe. Remember, Kobe did details. Kobe was like into it. Like, that was his, like he just, that's all he wanted to talk about.
Yes.
The 15 seconds of time with Michael Jordan that I had was golf. If you get him talking about golf, you get him talking about a good cognac, you get him talking about a cigar, He'll be taught
because that's where Jay lives today. That's exactly where he lives today.
Talk about X's and O's. So Bruce, thanks for the recap. He basically said if there was a magic pill that he could take to play in today's era, he would. Of course he would. He would do that in any era. And then he talked about shooting free throws. Yawn, stretch, boring.
First and foremost, that's not news. Any one of these dudes. Charles Barkley said it best, and I will die on this. I will die on this hill. He said, "quote We don't retire because we don't quit because we want to. We quit because we can't play no more. That's why." So a lot of these guys, when they quit,
Charles Barkley said it best. I think Tim Hardaway on our show said it best when he said it's about the money. Any old player that wants to play today, it's because of the money.
Yeah, I mean, Devin Booker just signed a $150 million extension for 2 years.
Yeah.
For 2 years, he signed a $150 million extension. Who's not doing that? If Tim Hardaway could come out of retirement and play in today's game and sign a $150 million deal for 2 years, he 100% is doing that.
There are guys making $50-60 million a year, which is double what Jordan made in his biggest, and he only had that 2 times in his biggest year when he made 30. You don't think he'd come back and want to make $60 million for 10 years? Of course he would.
Hell yes, he would do that. Yes.
Of course
he would.
Crazy.
He would definitely get a. He would if Jason Tatum's getting a 5-year. If Jason Tatum is getting a 5-year deal for $300 million, Jordan is definitely getting $350 for 5 years. That's 100%. Going on. Yes,
all right.
That's
what about the offense. Hey, what's your role in the offense going to be? I don't know.
Tone, I don't like this at all. I don't like this at
start.
all.
How do you not know what your role in the offense is going to be?
What does that mean? What do you mean you don't know what your role is? What do you mean when you? But so okay, we went over some things, and I do remember Mike Brown talking about how just being able to play basketball. So if I dive to the basket and I don't get the ball, okay, what do I do? Now, do I just stand underneath the basket? Do I pout? Okay, what do I need? What things do I need to do in order to be an effective basketball player? And that's what he wants to implement in their offense. Okay, I 100% get that. However, Tone, we do have to have an identity on offense. We got to have an identity on defense, but we have to have an identity on offense. We got a primary ball handler in Jalen Brunson who pounds the basketball, who does play pick and roll, but holds on to the ball a little bit much. But we know that that's their guy offensively. Okay, Cat is my pick and pop. Cat is my pick and dive guy. He's the guy that I go to on the box. Well, if he's telling me he doesn't know what his role is in the offense, sounds to me like we've kind of gone away from that. So if we're going away from that, that means that we're implementing other people in the offense. So does that mean Mikal Bridges knows, all right, I'm going to be the third option. They're running more flare screens for me, which I'm really good at flare screens. They're running more curl cuts for me. We're going to play faster because with us playing faster, I'm really good in stop and pop in transition. OG Anunoby, okay, my role, I'm going to be the defender. I'm going to be the transition guy.
You're a 3&D guy. 3&D guy.
If Cat doesn't know what his role is, that tells me when we get into practice, we're not doing anything to supplant what exactly Cat is. That's a recipe for disaster, Tone.
Disaster. And you know what? When I look at Mike Brown, when he had the Cavaliers, he didn't have a player like Cat. He didn't have a player like Cat. His bigs were
James wasn't like Cat. James was not like that.
Let's not even go there. Verjo wasn't like an offensive guy like Cat. Big Z wasn't an offensive guy like Cat. Later on, sure, he got old Shaq and old Ben Wallace. None of those guys were what Cat does. Then he goes Sacramento. He has Sabonis. Well, Sabonis, they play drop coverage and say, go ahead, shoot it. That's not,
by the way.
Which the Cat's not going to get that because Cat can actually shoot. So I don't think he's had a player like Cat. And I hope he didn't take this job and didn't realize I need to define these roles for these guys. I hope he didn't take the job not think about, oh, my second best scorer, I probably got to figure out how I'm going to use them. Because that's what it sounds like right now.
I was about to ask you, Tone, because I'm about to lose my mind right now. Because it sounds to me like, Tone, does he not know what he's doing with Cat?
I don't think he knows what to do. He hasn't had a player like that before.
So I got this big guy who you've seen in the battle. By the way, Cat didn't just show up like Wemby did.
Yeah, let me be clear. You could be a good coach and just not know how to use certain players because you've never had someone with that skill set.
Tone, Pop had no idea what he was doing when he first got him. He had no idea.
And that's Pop.
Yeah, and that was Pop. He had no idea what he was doing. But he saw Wemby and he was like, what the hell am I going to do?
I think that's why he was fired.
Maybe, because this is what the game is.
Agent health, of course. But I also think he's like, I don't want to ruin this kid. He's so talented. I want to ruin this kid.
Mm-hmm.
And let me go back a step quickly. I know for a fact, because I've talked to the people who talked to this person.
Sure.
One of the reasons Jerry West is like, I can't coach the Lakers when they drafted Magic was because he openly said I would have put Magic at the power forward and told him to
no idea what he was
rebound
doing.
And help Kareem, which would have
he had no idea what he was doing.
Ruined Magic. And he was like, I'm out. And good for him in recognizing that and being like, I can't.
So
I don't think I think if he doesn't know what his role in the offense is, I'm really scared that Mike Brown doesn't know how to use him.
And because again, Tone, to your point, you could have a player that you could be a good coach. Let me rephrase that. You could be a good coach and have a player that has a specific skill set that you're not sure about. Okay, like I'm not really sure what I can do with this guy. However, Tone, Cat is not Wemby. He didn't just show up a year, 2 years ago. Mike Brown's been around for a long time. He's seen Cat. He knows what Cat is. He's actually coached a versatile player like LeBron James. So to have a guy like Cat who can stretch the defense, right? To have a guy like Cat who is really good in transition. To have a guy like Cat who I could dump the ball into on the box. To have a guy like Cat who I can play, not just pick and pop, who in transition, when he's diving to the rim and he's not open, okay, I can get him running out to the long ball line. There's a number of different things offensively that I can do with him. A number of different things. Cat can handle the basketball also. And this isn't news to you, Mike, right? This isn't news to Coach Brown. It's not like Coach Brown just got the job and now he sees Cat and he's like, oh shit, what am I doing with this guy? No, it's not Coach Pop dealing with Wemby, where Wemby just showed up and I got this 7.5-foot tall dude who shoots threes and handles basketball. Like, what the hell am I doing with this guy? Coach, you seen Cat before. So I mean, and on top of that, Tone, we're in the beginning of the season, right? In the beginning of the season, there has to be a baseline.
But let's think about this. This is why I say, like, just make me the general manager. Because the first question or series of questions that I'm asking a potential head coach is, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this team? What are their strengths?
Isn't that the interview process? So you're telling me we're in an interview.
What are their weaknesses? What are the opportunities? What are the threats? And tell me how you're going to use Brunson. Tell me how are you going to change how you use him? What are you going to do with Cat? I'm asking these guys.
Yes.
What are you going to do?
So you think he got tricked in it? So is it fair to say
he tricked them? I don't think
he got. What I was about to ask you, Tone, because if we're getting into the interview stage, what you just asked, that's not something that's a ridiculous question. You're the coach. What's your plan?
Listen, I'm a 2-time coach of the year. I took a 22-year-old LeBron James with a bunch of outcasts, made them the 4th best defense in the league, and took them to the NBA final. Oh, okay, you're hired. Okay. No.
Okay, that's great. Okay, that's great. Perfect. No problem. Okay, what do you plan on doing with Jalen Brunson and Cat and OG Anunoby and
a little bit of this, a little bit of that? Sprinkle. I don't want to tell you my secret sauce that you're going to give away to another potential coach. You hire me and I'll show you.
I'm good.
That's what he did. I think that's what he did. I think that's what he did. Let me address this very quickly. Very, very quickly. Sportswoman, congratulations, but hold up. You got to pick a side. Dodgers or Blue Jays? Dodgers are my favorite team. If I don't root for the Blue Jays, my wife will kick me out of the house. Let's go Jays. All right, moving on. Mrs. Fluent has made it very, very clear. If I or Fluent Jr. root for the Jays, we are out.
Oh, so the line in the sand has already been drawn, Tom?
Done. Yeah, done. She told Junior, she said, Fluent Jr., she goes, listen, you can cheer for Mookie Betts because he's your favorite player, but no one will be living in his house if they cheer him for the Dodgers.
No. So pick a side right now. Pick a side right now. You're gonna live with your grandmother. If you think you're rooting for the Dodgers, living here, you're gonna go stay with your grandmother. So be clear about that.
My mom is way past her prime. She cannot cook anymore. She's too old. And Mrs. Fluent, as you can tell, feeds me very well. So ain't no chance, no how I'm going. You've met her. I knew.
Yes, I have.
Not going.
Wonderful woman, by the way.
Not going against that. No
love
chance.
Mrs. Fluent. Love Mrs. Fluent. She's awesome.
All right. I completely lost track. All right, here we go. Oh, I like this one actually. I do like this one.
Mm-hmm.
I like this one. And I think it's actually a really easy answer, but I do like it. What's harder? 50,000 points or 4,000 threes? 50,000 points or 4,000 threes?
I think both of them are ridiculously hard to do.
Of course.
But when I think about 50,000 total points, because like the 50,000, isn't that's the playoffs? That's
the
regular season
playoffs, yes,
and the playoffs combined, as opposed to 4,000 threes. One, I got to play a really long time. That's number one.
I think
can't play
both, but yes,
that's what I'm talking about. I'm not just talking about with one of them. With both of them, I got to play a really long time. Two, not only do I have to play a really long time, I have to be really consistent at what I do. So as a long ball shooter, as a bucket getter, I got to be consistent at that. 50,000 points, that means that I got to do this in the regular season and the playoffs. Curry is primarily a long ball shooter. That's who he is. That's who he's always been. That's probably who he's always going to be. Just so happens that he's the best at it, like ever. But in order to get to 50,000 points, I got to do so many other things, and I got to do it at a high level on the regular. Not just shoot the long ball. I got to shoot the long ball. I got to get to the rim. I got to shoot in the mid-range. I got to shoot and I got to score in a variety of ways. Curry is so good at this one thing that it kind of cancels out almost every other thing that everybody else does. But James, he's done this thing where he's so good at all these other things that it's almost impossible to be that good at everything. So I think getting to 50,000 points is a lot harder than getting to 4,000 threes. Not a lot harder. Let me rephrase that. I think it would be harder, but I think both of them are ridiculously difficult.
So I think you're giving too much credit to the 4,000 threes. And I'll tell you why. 50,000, even the 42, 43, whatever thousand his regular season, right? It took 38 years for LeBron or someone to come along and surpass Kareem's.
Jabbar did it in 84. Jabbar did it in 84. Okay.
It took 38 years for someone to come along, and the adoption, although it was there for part of Kareem's career, but the adoption of the three-point line and then the explosion of the three-point shot took 38 years. So unless they come up with a 4-point line, for someone to play as long as LeBron and at 25, 26, 27 points per game for 20 years, I don't think we're ever going to see it. I don't even think it's 50 years from now, 75 years from now, with the exception of a 4-point line coming out. I don't think anyone ever surpasses LeBron's.
In your lifetime, Tony, you're going to see this again.
Never. With Steph, okay? With Steph, I'm just going to do like quick math for you, okay? And I haven't done this, so I'm doing it live, so it could be an epic failure. So 5 3-pointers per game times 75 games. Is that fair? Because we're including playoffs, right?
Yep.
Okay. So 75 games, regular season playoffs, that's 375. If they played 12 seasons, which in today's day and age isn't a lot for a great player, especially a 3-point shooter, that's 4,500. So
12 years.
12 years at 5 a game. That's not insurmountable with the fact that we're shooting almost 43s per game as a team. Hello, sir. How are you? So shooting. Are you going to bed?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's up, nephew?
Say hi to Unc.
Hello.
Oh, chill.
What's up, nephew?
So is there gonna? You have to be a great 3-point shooter. Don't get me wrong. This is gonna be an average
Sure.
Joe. So I'm shooting 12, 13 a game. Not crazy. Again with where we're going. Okay.
The league leader today, Tone. By the way, the league leader today, which was Curry last season, he averaged 4 a game.
Made 4 a game.
He averaged 4 a game.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay. So let's use 3. So if I make 3 a game, isn't crazy, right? I think there's quite a number of players. That's not even a great 3-point shooter, making 3 a game. I play 75 games, I said, per season. Is 225. 4,000 divided by 225. 17 seasons. That is a good 3-point shooter. That's a good 3-point shooter would have to play 17 years. A great 3-point shooter would have to play 12. So can someone make 3 to 5 threes per game for 12 to 17 years? I think it's more doable
than 50,000.
Because I think 50,000 is never going to get done.
Well,
so again, maybe that's because I just think 50K will never get done. That I just assume 4K is easier because I don't think that. I just think we shoot so many threes now. It's going to happen. I just think it's going to happen. Unless the game changes.
How much more?
Are you sure he made 4 a game? That seems low.
In the 24-25 season, he led the league last season. He averaged he made 4 of them a game, right? And I think he averaged, if I'm not mistaken, and you can check me out on this, but he shot 12 of them. He shot 11 of them a game. That's how many he shot, and he made 4. And the year before that, he shot 12 a game and made almost 5. So, like you said, to your point, a great 3-point shooter, right? A great 3-point shooter is doing this in 12 seasons. When I think about James surpassing Jabbar, which he did it, did he do it in 23? I think it was. He did it. So, and that means that I got to average almost 25 a game for 20 straight years. That's what I got to do. I got in order to get to 30,000. I got to average 25 a game for 20 straight years. He's the only guy to ever do that. Nobody has done that. Nobody. For that long, scoring that many points. That's not including what he was doing in the playoffs, because remember too, Tone, I'm going deep in the playoffs. It's not like I'm getting bounced in round 1. Like I'm in the NBA championship 9 times in 10 years. So I'm going to the Eastern Conference Championship. I'm going to the NBA Finals. In addition to going to the NBA Finals, I'm scoring over 38,000 points in the regular season for my career. Add another 10,000 points in the playoffs. I mean, no, not 10,000 points. I'm sorry. Is it 10,000 points? Because I think in the playoffs, I think it's like 8,000 points. I don't want to miss. I don't want to miss. Don't misquote me on that. I think it's like 8,000 points.
8,000 points came with making the playoffs all but 4 years, so 19 years. 19
of the 23 years I'm making the playoffs.
18 years in the playoffs. 10 of those going all the way to the finals. So
that's crazy.
More
that's
than half
the time.
Like it's not good. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen.
I don't think I'm going to see it again in my lifetime.
Whereas again, with the trend, can someone shoot 40% from 3 and go 4 of 10 for 13 years? Yeah, 100%. I think that's what everybody does. In fact, I was at practice, my youth team. I was at practice today before I came to do the show, and I'm fighting with the guys not to just stand around the 3-point line because that's all they want to do. And I'm like, guys, you're
because
I'm like, guys,
right here.
Guys, you're 5% 3-point shooters. Stop it.
Get off the long ball line.
They
get off the long ball line.
They hated me today. I said I said you're shooting 5% from the 3. I said you better cut and look for a mid range,
especially you. Definitely you. Get off the long ball line. Let's go. Get off the long ball line. Get off. Matter of fact, you get off the floor.
Just get off. Just that's why I love and hate Steph Curry. I love and hate him because everybody wants to be Steph, and I'm like, I get why you want.
You could say it. He ruined it. He did.
He ruined it because not everyone can do that. Like I think we all, I think back to, like Mike. If I could be like Mike, and we're like,
Mike, man, please. Mike tricked me.
I wish I could. Well, you fell for it. The rest of us were like, oh, I wish I could fly. I know I can't. But with Steph, it's like, oh, I can shoot. Not like that. You can't.
Not like that. You can't do that. No, you can't.
You're about as likely to shoot like that as you are to do that kiss the rim. It's just that, it's just not gonna happen.
Mike tricked me because I was able at 19 years old, 20 years old. I could do that. But here's the problem, though, Tone. The problem was what Jordan tricked me into thinking I could be that good. No,
and do that. Yeah,
no.
Listen, there's those professional dunkers, right? They're phenomenal. There's a reason they're not in the NBA.
You're never gonna be that good. You could try, and I promise you, Tone, I tried. I'm like, no, I'm never gonna be that good. No, he tricked me. But I think what Curry has done, I think the fact that Curry also looks like the everyday man too. Don't leave that part out, Tone. I think that's really important to mention.
You know what?
Curry ain't 6'8", 6'9".
Curry doesn't look like the everyday man, and I'll tell you why. Because you get this. To us who follow basketball, who watch basketball, who play basketball, we don't understand it. We don't. But we're around the same height. You're a little bit taller than I am, but we're around the same height, 6'3", 6'4". When we go out in general public, the majority of people are like, wow, you're tall. They look up and think you're tall. He is our size. And we think he's everyday regular dude because when I tell people I was the second shortest guy on my team. Right? They're like, what? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, right. So they see him against the Houston Rockets, who have a starting lineup of 5 guys that are 6'11", and they think, oh, he's like me. He's 5'8". Like the average person is 5'8", 5'9". No, he's 6'3". He's 6'3", which makes him like, or 6'2", sure, whatever the hell he is.
Yeah.
That's not.
These guys are giants.
Yeah, it's not. If when you and I went out, you remember we walked through that to that office building. We went to the studio. The couple of people there was no one our size. They thought we were going to come in and kill somebody.
Like, relax.
And you walking down the street together. They're like, these two are they're trouble. They're not doing anything.
We just here to tape a show. We don't want no trouble.
Middle of the night, walking through Florida. These two, who all in black. We dead.
We're just here to tape a show. That's it. That's all we here to do. We don't want no trouble. Relax, folks.
It's not normal. It's not normal. It's not normal. That's all I'm saying. So when they see him, and yes, you're right. They think he's everyday. No, he's not. He's actually not. But to your point, they think they can and they can't. Like I said, they're about as likely to shoot like him as they are to dunk from the free throw line.
I actually tried to do that. I was like, how the hell does he do that?
Listen, there's probably a couple of dozen people that can do it. But it ain't 5'6" Joe Schomburg from Kettleby. He ain't doing it. Just not happening. Right. Just not happening. Next up on the agenda. I don't believe this for 1 second. I don't believe this for 1 second.
What's that, Tom?
Ant says, and I say says with a lot of hesitation and mistrust in my voice, that he wants, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to get fly as hell to where they can't stop me. He's going to bring an NBA championship to Minnesota. I don't believe it for a second.
But what's the problem, Tom?
1, I don't think Minnesota's ever winning a championship. 2, I don't think Ant's going to be there past this contract that he's on.
I disagree with you. I think that Ant loves being in Minnesota. I think that they can pay him the most. I think that Ant Edwards is going to be the best guard in the league in the next couple of years.
I think he's already the best guard in the league.
I don't think he's there yet. I think he's close.
Best shooting.
Not the best 2 guard. No, I think he's going to be the best guard in the league. That includes Luka and
Ooh.
SGA and all of those guys. Yeah, I think he's going to be the best guard in the league. Yes, I do think that. With that being said, I think that if he ends up leaving Minnesota, it's going to be because he's outgrown Minnesota, not because he doesn't want to be there. Kind of like what happened with James. Like James left Cleveland because there's nothing else for me to do here. There's no reason why I can stay here. I would love to still be here, but at this point, I've done everything that I could possibly do here in Minnesota and in Cleveland, and it's time for me to move on. And I think with Anthony Edwards, I think he wants to stay, but I think he's going to become such a big deal that he's going to have to leave. But as far as him, in terms of wanting to bring a championship, they're doing everything that they can to build a championship team around him. Let's be clear about that right now, Tone. They're doing everything that they can.
I'm not saying he doesn't want to bring a championship to Minnesota. Yes. What I'm saying is he will not bring a championship to Minnesota.
Is the reason why he won't bring a championship to Minnesota is because he won't be good enough, they won't be good enough, or he just won't be there long enough to see it through?
Yes.
On all of those things.
All of those things.
I think he will be.
I think no, sorry, he'll be good enough. Sorry, they won't be good enough, and he won't be there long enough, because I disagree. I think he's already outgrown Minnesota. So unless he's, just staying there to stay away from, baby mama drama and paying too much child support, in which case maybe he's just like, you don't want to come to Minnesota. It's cold up here. And they're like, you're right, I'm not coming. I don't see Minnesota putting a team together that can get out of the West.
Well, they just tried it with Rudy Gobert, one of the best defensive bigs, who's going this way, by the way. Rudy's on the decline. Okay, with Rudy being on the decline, Ant is going this way. Let's see, Ant. Mike Conley is going this way. With Mike Conley going the other way, okay, we got this young kid Shannon. In addition to having Shannon, let's see, we got Julius Randle. I feel like they're trying to build a championship level team around Ant where they could compete. Because let's not act like, Tone, just because we have the best.
Not trying.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Just because we don't have the best talent does not mean we can't win it. Because we've seen that already. I mean, was Oklahoma City the most talented team in the league last year?
Yes.
I don't think that they were. I don't think that they were the most talented.
I think they had the.
I think that they were the deepest team,
deepest roster. Yeah, so they had the most.
I think that they had the deepest roster, but I don't think that they were the most talented.
Boston, and the year before, Boston also had the deepest roster.
Do you think that? Do you think Denver had the? Yes, I think Boston had the. I think Boston had the. How about Denver? You think Denver was the most talented?
I think Denver had a very deep team. I think they had the best player. They 100%. They had. If you look at that team, they had the best.
7 guys, Tone. That was it. They had 7 guys.
They had the best player in the NBA. Well, all you need is 7 or 8 to win in the playoffs. So they had the best player in the NBA. Yep. They had the second best player play 25% better than he ever has. So he had to have,
which is nuts, by the way. Like for those of you that don't know, for me to go to playing this to being 25% better, not even 100% better, just 25% better than what I was is nuts. But keep going.
So they had that happen, and then they got worldly performances from Aaron Gordon, from MPJ, off the bench with Brown and Brown. Defense from Brown. Like everything went right. So could everything go right with Minnesota where they have 7, 8 deep? That's my problem, is you gave up so much to get Gobert. They're going to be a top heavy team, and typically
what did we give up though, Tone? Those draft picks. Do we really care about those? Like the 24th pick in the first round? I care about that.
I care about them when Mike Conley goes away. When Gobert on the wrong side of his prime has to go away and be moved. When Julius Randle becomes Julius Randle, where they're like, okay, he's a headache, let's get rid of him. Right. And now I got to retool around Ant. That's when Ant goes, oh man. Because I guarantee you, we don't agree, but I guarantee you ask the front office in Cleveland, they were putting teams around LeBron to win championships. Look at us.
Yeah.
We had the best record in the NBA 2 years in a row. We were putting teams around him.
Yep.
Everybody on the outside, we were like, nah, fam. No, you weren't. You were trying to lose. And they're like, no. I think Minnesota has proven, and you know me, you use the quote all the time, right, Maya Angelou? When people show you who they are, believe them.
Believe them. Correct.
They've shown me that they don't know how to build a championship roster. So until they do, I'm going to believe them. And I think when you have a player of that stature, your instinct is, let's bring in these other great players to surround him. And I think that's where it'll backfire.
So to your point, like the kid that they got, Behringer, the big kid, like he's there to supplant Rudy. This kid, Terrence Shannon and Rob Dillingham, who I'm not a big fan of Rob Dillingham, but Terrence Shannon.
For a second and tell you, I was just told by a child, 13, by a child today that Rob Dillingham is his favorite player in the NBA. I almost passed out. I almost passed out. I was like, what?
Wow. So
favorite player?
I think that they ended up getting Terrence Shannon in the draft.
Yep.
They got Rob Dillingham in the draft in a trade, which worked. They got Behringer in the draft also.
Yep.
They already got Julius Randle. This kid Enrique Freeman, who I loved him. I think Indiana made a mistake on him. I think that with the development of this kid, I think he's going to be a really good player. Having DiVincenzo, to your point, Tone, having DiVincenzo, Jaden McDaniels is a young guy. He's 25 years old, right? Anthony Edwards is 24 years old. They're building this unit around Anthony Edwards where they can compete for an NBA championship. And to your point, if I get the best player in the league, which I think Anthony Edwards at some point is going to be the best guard in the league, and then I need some luck, right? Then I need some things to go my way. I need Jamal Murray to play outside of what Jamal Murray does. Is it ridiculous for me to think that I can get Julius Randle? I mean, he played like that last season. They just ran into an Oklahoma City team that was just better.
Right.
Much better. Yep.
And
they ran into an Oklahoma City
team.
Is
they already got, right? Remember, we wrote off Julius Randle in the playoffs, and he played phenomenal last year.
Yes, he was great last year in the playoffs. That's a fact. Right.
So they got
with that being said,
are they going to get it again?
I think we can get something
from Jamal.
Well, I think that what Jamal gave you is way different than what Julius Randle gave you. I think what Julius Randle gave us last season in the playoffs was something that we were expecting. Like, where has this Julius Randle been? Yeah. What Jamal Murray gave us was, wait a minute. Nobody knew he was that good. Like, holy shit. Yeah. Like, this guy is awesome. Because I know I didn't think. I found out like, yo, we talking about Jamal Murray being a top 10 point guard in the league. I was like, I didn't know he was that good. Well, turns out he wasn't. He just gave us, turns out he isn't. He just gave us one of those astronomical performances. I think we were waiting on Julius Randle to be what he was in the playoffs last year. And that's kind of what we expect from him moving forward, considering what Julius Randle has done. Now, we got guys like Terrence Shannon.
Let me pause you there. That is what we expected from Jamal too. He did that, and we were like, okay, next year now he's going to be an all-star. He's going to be all NBA. We didn't get it. I get it, injuries, but we didn't get it. We didn't get it,
nope.
And so, the expectation is there because he did it once. Once is luck, twice is a coincidence, 3 is a habit. So he's got a long way to go. He's got a long way to go.
Yes, he does. But to your point, if I'm going to have some things go my way. Was last year the year to do it? I mean, I don't know if last year was the year to do it. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about luck, Tone. Okay, we were unlucky. We were unlucky running into Oklahoma City. Like that was we ended up getting a matchup that was just not conducive to us winning. We were unlucky running into them. Even though we've had teams that were able to avoid matchups, and they were lucky. So I think more than anything with this Minnesota team, I think they're doing everything that they can to build the championship unit around Ant. And I think that they need some things to go their way. If they can get some things to go their way, I think that they got a shot.
If things go their way and they get lucky, sure. I'm not.
What happened with Denver?
I'm not betting
on with Denver.
I'm not betting on. I'm a pessimist.
As my brother would always tell me, because my brother's a businessman like you, Tom. My brother always tells me, hope is not a plan. No, it is not.
Hope is not a play. I love that saying. I feel like LeBron. That's one of my favorite sayings.
Yes, he has stamped that with me. Hope is not a plan. No, it's not.
Hope is not a plan. I love it. We were schooled by a youngster to this player, and I'm happy to say Dyson Daniels has signed a 4-year, $100 million rookie extension. I love it. I think he's going to be the defensive player of the year this year if Wemby doesn't play 65 plus games. But it's Atlanta.
Right. My nephew turned me on to this kid, and I scoffed at my nephew.
But it's Atlanta.
Like, nephew, you don't know what you're talking about. Turns out my nephew was right. He was like, yo, you need to watch this kid.
Yeah.
Dyson Daniels is the real deal. And I was like, yeah, I'll peek my head in. Because I was wrapped up in Herb Jones. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm a Herb Jones stan. So I was wrapped up in Herb Jones. My nephew was telling me, yo, there's this guy that plays for New Orleans. His name is Dyson Daniels. He's awesome. I'm like, all right, if you say so. Turns out he was right. And this contract that we have, because Tone, let's get off the Atlanta thing. They're not Buffalo. Let's get to the bottom of that right now. And that's how you talking. You talking? No, they're not. They're not Buffalo. Tone. No.
I'm sorry. I just feel like Buffalo. For those that don't know the paper clips, I feel like Buffalo, Atlanta, Minnesota. There's just teams that are just there, and they're just there.
Fillers? Because it sounds like they're fillers, Tone. You just had a beat when I think Atlanta's a lot better than you're giving them credit for. They got a damn good coach in Quinn Snyder.
I think this year, I've told you, I think this year they have top 4 potential.
That's what I think that they are. I think that they're I think that they're the 4th seed in the East this year. But to your point about him being the defensive player of the year, I think it's Amin Thompson. But for you to get this quality of player, the offensive and defensive player that he is, for you to get that quality of player for $25 million, Tone, I think this contract is going to be outdated in a year.
Oh yeah,
1 year.
They're gonna love him.
At $25 million?
I love it.
Oh my goodness, they're gonna love this kid, especially considering everything else that they have. So when you take Trey off the floor, you can move him to the one of the best, if not the best, on-ball defender in the game. Versatile, can cover the 1, can cover the 2, can cover the 3, and some 4s. Can handle the basketball, can get downhill, can knock down an open shot. You getting that for $25 million?
That's a steal.
Oh my goodness, that's going to be a steal.
Steal. So I love the contract. I wanted to shout it out because, like I said, I got him as depoy. I just want to point out quickly, because we got 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. 84-79 Rockets. I know it's late. It's the fourth quarter has started, but did you pick this game? Who's winning?
I did. I picked Houston. I thought that it was a ring night. I thought that Houston would get the best of Oklahoma City because they were going to be riding high on emotion, and more times than not, you end up finding yourself that emotion gets the best of you, and I think Houston is going to beat these guys tonight.
I want to point out, do you recall? I don't know. Oh, I think it was NBA Max. It might have been a different show, but do you remember who I said my most improved player was going to be?
I don't.
Who was yours?
Josh Giddey.
Josh Giddey. Oh, yeah. So we didn't talk about this. So on NBA Max, you can go check it if you don't believe me. I said Alfred Sengun. And everyone's like, Sengun? How can Sengun be most improved? He averaged 20 points a game last year. And I said, because the offense is going to run through him. And you're looking at a kid who's going to average 23, 24 a game and be flirting with a triple-double because the offense is running through him. He's going to have 8-9 assists. Because of his size, he's going to get 8-9 boards a game. I just want to point out, with 9 minutes left in the fourth, they just hit a 3. 25, 7, and 6. Dude's going to be flirting with a triple-double all season. And even though there isn't the big, I know they love the big point jump for their most improved. How can you not give a kid who's flirting with a triple-double most improved? I think they got to. I think I'm just saying, I'm glad
I
he
don't
didn't.
hate it. I don't hate it. Because Houston's going to be good too, by the way. Houston's going to be really good.
Yeah, they're going to be a good team. Yep. So I'm really glad he didn't come out on opening night and put up a stinker, because now I feel good about my pick.
Right. I could get with that. I could definitely get with that, Tone. Him being the hub of their offense. I don't know if I love him being that far away from the basket. Ran him right over.
He's been playing. He's been playing okay defense in the paint tonight, which is one of the weaknesses. So, if you can use just when you're in the paint, when you're a big guy, just be big, be relevant. Someone said that term once, and I love it. I'm just be relevant. They're like, what does that mean? I'm like, let people know you're there. If they know you're there, it will change the way they attack you defensively, because they know it's like he's not even there. No, let them know you're there. So good for him. 87, 83.
I just saw this play with Hartenstein. Tone. There's plays in basketball that drive you crazy. I hate big guys taking charges. That shit's so soft to me. It just is. I hate that shit. I used to get on Shaq all the time about it. Shaq used to take charges. I was like, you big softy. Block the shot. Guards take charges. Give me a break.
Oh, okay. That. So I know you don't play this game, but I got to tell you.
Fuck out of here.
My sneaky, cheat code that everybody hates is that when we play 2K, I will always position. I typically have my power forward. I double the 3-point shooters, and I have my power forward take charges when someone drives, and I will get 5, 6, 7 charges a game. I know it's 2K and it's a video game, but it drives my son crazy. He's like, that is so. I hate when you do that, dude. I hate it. And I'm like,
big guys taking charges.
My power forward just charge, right? And he's like, what the hell? I'm like, listen. I know when you're going to the rim, bro. You're either shooting a 3 or trying to dunk it on somebody. I'm gonna take a charge. It drives him nuts. So, not that I disagree with you on big men taking charges, but hey, do what you got to do. Tonight, okay. So that's tonight's game. So I think we both actually. I'll just go with OKC, even though I had Houston. I'll just go with OKC because just so I can be different than what you said.
Mm-hmm.
You got Houston, but I think you're right. After this game, and just when we finish, we're both going to jump off and go watch my Lakers against Fluent Junior's Warriors. It's actually pretty interesting. This jersey actually kind of looks like the Warriors colors, and this one's a Lakers colors. Even though, but anyways, I digress. Who do you got in that game? And then I got another question for you.
I'm going to take the Lakers at home. I've seen Luka win with less, and with Luka playing with the guys that he's got tonight, and that old starting lineup with the Golden State Warriors, I'm going to take the Lakers.
Well, I'm not. I'm taking the Lakers, so it isn't.
Of course,
I'm picking the Lakers 82 times this season. This is interesting. Andrew says we should do playback together. It would be awesome. He's not wrong. Why haven't we done playback together?
That's a good question. Well, I was on playback on your channel, and it didn't go well, so I think we scrapped it. No, it didn't. It didn't go well at all.
Well, it's because we were just doing a technical test. We got to promote things. But yeah, we should talk to. Hey, Dave, why don't you reach out to us and let us know if we could do Fluent and Chill once every 2 weeks on Dave
on playback.
Dave.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a game.
We'll do a game. We'll do like the game of the month, and we'll do on PC. Do you guys know PC? It's called Player's Choice. I don't know if anyone's heard of that channel. It's got a host Ron on it who has a whole lot of talking to his team, gets knocked out of the playoffs.
Trash.
And then they when they fall to the Jays, then he gets real quiet. So the season is starting. Obviously, there is a lot. Can I read you the list?
Oh boy,
Stars out for the opening.
It's a list, Tone, so it's not like 1 or 2 guys.
Dude, there is a list, and I'm going to read it off to you because I know you like lists. Here we go. Are you ready? Because it's not short. Take a breath. Jason Tatum, Damian Lillard, LeBron James,
LeBron James.
He says it better.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Williams, Kyrie Irving, Therese Halliburton, Fred VanVleet, Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox, Tyler Hero, Jalen Green, Darius Garland, DeJounte Murray, Kobe White, Jaden Ivey, Jared McCain, Keegan Murray, Jude Henderson, Jeremy Shohan, Zach Edey, Moses Moody, Max Strus, DeAnthony
What
Melton,
is happening right
Dorian
now?
Finney-Smith, TJ McConnell, who I call TJ
What?
McCullum. I still think that's a better name. Ty Jerome, Scottie Pippen Jr., Kevin Looney, Nikola Topic, Haywood,
This is incredible.
George Niang, Balil Kalabali. I will never get that name right.
Yeah. Bilal Kalabali.
There you go.
He's in Washington. Tone, that's like 25 guys.
I can't count
That
that.
is nuts.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
That is nuts right there. That's like 25, 30 guys.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32.
32 guys.
32.
And like 6 of those guys are out for the season. James is out because he got sciatica, which I call it by the way, Tone, I call it sciatica. I call it the psychotic nerve because that's how bad the pain is. It's psychotic. But
I
Jason Tatum-
wanted to just quickly say on that. Everyone I know who's had sciatica has never played again. If it's that severe, ever. They have to stop playing. It's literally a pain from your hip all the way down to your ankle. And it's like someone's chopping you down with an axe. Like, it is brutal. And then zapping you with an electric. Like, it's nuts.
I call it the psychotic nerve because the pain is incredible how bad it is. Like, and when I say incredible, Tone, I'm talking like you need help putting your pants on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Can't move.
You cannot move.
It's that incredible. So Tatum out for the season. Halliburton out for the season. Lillard out for the season. Irv coming back after the All-Star break. Maybe after the All-Star break. Who am I leaving out? So
Tatum
James. Okay, Tatum out for the season. Halliburton out for the season.
Although I think Tatum's back by the All-Star break, but you think he's out for the season.
I think he's out for the season. Damian Lillard out for the season. Halliburton, Damian Lillard, Jason Tatum. This list of guys, and I know that it's a long NBA season, but this goes back, right? This goes back to exactly
if the
what we
season was
about.
Shorter,
right? This what are we doing right now, right? So if the season was shorter, we already got all of these guys out.
Tatum would have no shot of coming back if the season was shorter.
Zero.
How about
zero? So if we're going to shorten the season, my biggest issue with that, and now that you got my blood pressure up with this, Tone, why don't you want more basketball? What's your problem? How can you want the season shortened? You're telling me that you don't want more basketball. That's what you're telling me.
I love
too much of a strain on these guys. Give me a break.
I love 3 things in this world: my wife, my kids, and basketball.
Yes.
Don't take it away from me. Don't, please don't.
And ladies and gentlemen, don't ask him to put those things in order neither, because he might have a problem. Don't do that. Don't do that to him. Don't ask him to put those things.
I've got this water, and we've got this red. You just made the list.
You just made my list, buddy. You just made my list.
Don't ask him to put those in order, man. Don't do that, because I promise you, we live in a sweet.
It depends on the day.
Hey, and this is the epitome of, just so you know, folks, this is the epitome of the family man. I know some family men. My brother's a family man, right? My uncle's a family man. My man Tone is the epitome of the family man. Don't make him choose between his family and basketball.
Basketball kind of is family. Basketball is family.
Because if you catch him on the right day, we might be able to have a conversation. Like, you might be able to have Fluent Junior for a day or two.
I might get in a lot of trouble.
Yes, you might be able to have Fluent Junior for a day or two if it meant I could have basketball. Like,
front row courtside seats.
you can have him for a day or two.
In 6 hours.
Absolutely. But back to what we were just finished talking about, Tone. So I feel like where we are today with these guys being in and out of the lineup, the injuries are substantial. Okay, I get that part. But a lot of these guys, I think that what Jordan talked about, I think that holds a lot more weight than people give it credit for. The reason why the competition was what it was because my game did all the talking. It wasn't about commercials. It wasn't about my shoe deal. It wasn't about my Twitter account. It wasn't about my following. My game was my reputation. And if I wasn't out there, my reputation was at stake. And a lot of these guys, if they could play on opening night, would they play? I'm not sure. I'm not sure I can say with 100% certainty that they would.
I would say half of those guys on that list of 32 could play today. Like if they were like if it was like it's opening night, I get it. If it was like a playoff game,
yep.
I bet you half of them would have suited up. If it was the NBA final, half of them would suit up. But I get it.
They would have played.
It's the first game of the season, and I think that's maybe a bit of a mentality change. And listen, I'm going through it right now. I'll tell you right now, I got a 12-man roster. I got 4 injured kids.
Oh boy,
to start the season, and I'm like, I'm not going to put you in a position to have longer issues. I'd rather you rest now. I don't care what it means to the start of our season and wins, losses, but I'd rather you rest, be 100%, and get. So I do it myself. So now. That's me with youth because they're young and I don't want them having long-term issues. Fast forward that, I'm an NBA coach, I'm an NBA general manager, and I got guys that I'm investing 30, 40, 50 million dollars in a year, right? $400 million over their career, over the contract.
Sure.
I put them in a position where I'm going to give them long-term issues to play the opening night of a season. Can't do it. Can't do it.
No.
So I get it from both sides. I've said this to you a million times. I want everybody to be healthy. I want everybody to play every game because I want to see the best product on the court. At the same time, I know that's not realistic.
No, it's not, unfortunately. But I would like to see these guys more than I've seen them. And I do know that we're in a space. Let's be clear about this, Tone. We live in a space where I have to come to the conclusion or the realization that Curry, James, KD, DeMar DeRozan, let's see, James Harden, Damian Lillard, like these guys are on their way out. Like these guys aren't going to be around much longer. So I have to I have to accept the reality that, these guys, as much as I've seen them, for as long as I've seen them, that doesn't mean that these guys are going to be here forever. James is not going to be here forever. Curry is not going to be here forever. These guys are going to be gone soon. And when I say soon, I mean within the next 5 years, all of these guys are going to be gone. All of them. But
Joker, Doncic, Ant, Banchero, Mobley, like we're in good hands though.
Oh, absolutely.
Wemby. I didn't even say Wemby. We're in such, like, I've never felt more comfortable as a basketball fan as the top stars start to age, and I know that they're going to start to kind of drop off one by one, that the next group is already there. And look, there's going to be more coming. There, someone else is going to come in the next year, 2 years, whatever. But never been more comfortable. Like the game's good. In fact, there's a reason the NBA did something that, worked in the 80s, in the 90s, right? Where it was Magic, it was Bird, it was Jordan, right? It was Kobe, it was Shaq, a little bit less. But I feel like I feel like we can get back to what I love,
which is
promoting the teams, promoting the league, right? Like I am a Laker fan, right? Like I'm old school. If you are on the Lakers, I love you. If you're off the Lakers, I hate you. Period. Point blank.
So you don't like the fact that we've become more individualized than
I feel I hate, and I will say this to them if they ever ask me. I hate like these guys that are like, I'm a fan of this player, and they, when he's on this team, they get his jersey, and then he goes that team, he get the jersey, he goes that jersey, and then pretend like that's their favorite team. It's not. Right. Like I'll pick on LeBron James fans. Okay, you're not Laker fans. You're not, because if he got traded, if he got traded or went and signed with San Antonio tomorrow, you'd be out getting a Spurs jersey. So no, you're not a Laker fan. Stop it. You're not. And I feel like that takes away from, like, it's just, it's part of free agency. I get it. It's, it's hard, but I'm just like, I miss that because it created really good rivalries. It created must-see TV, and we became this like one player, one-on-one. And again, it was needed at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I just, I look at football. Like, do you care who are on the 49ers if they're good?
No, I don't.
Right?
I was super excited when we got Christian McCaffrey. I was charged about that.
Of course, because it made your team, because it made,
yes.
Why were you excited? Because it made
us better. It wasn't just because Christian McCaffrey. No, I was like, yo, we got him. Okay, great. We're going to be way better now.
Listen, do you like Patrick Mahomes?
Love him.
Who's a really good quarterback that you don't like?
Who is a really good quarterback? Dak Prescott. I'm not a big fan.
All right. Dak Prescott now goes to the 49ers and replaces Brock Purdy.
I'm loving Dak Prescott.
You're loving Dak Prescott because
I'm loving him.
Brock Purdy, Dak's going to get us. Dak's going to do a better job, right?
I'm loving him.
You're loving him. So
loving Dak Prescott.
It's that type of thing. Like I listen. Everyone, people call me a LeBron hater. What the second LeBron signed with the Lakers? What did I want him to do? Win a championship every single year. You want to be the GOAT? You want to be surpass Jordan in everybody's mind? Go ahead. Bring my Lakers 5 chips. I'm in. Let's do it. I'm in. What do you need? How can I help?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. Right? Like, I don't hate any NBA players, but I'm just saying. Listen, speaking of the Lakers, they're about to start. And this game's got 3 minutes left. And I'm going to go watch the last 2 minutes without running my mouth. So let's go do that.
Let's do that, yo. Y'all know where to find us at. Thanks for having us here, guys, tonight. You know where to find me and my man, Tony Tone. That's Fluent right there. I'm Chill. We do this every Tuesday night right here on the Sports Fluent and Chill Town Hoops Network right here on YouTube every Tuesday night. So at 8 o'clock. So we will be back next week. You know where to find us. We will see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When last time you talked to your mother? Call your mother. I'll talk to you guys soon, but until then, take it light, but take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys today. This was super dope.
I gotta call my brother.
Fluent and chill, we call it how it's played from the field to the court. Every legend gets way. Fourth quarter heat, over 2-minute drill. If you can't handle truth, better chill with the skill. LeBron or MJ.